Well, it's that time of year again. How much would Kevin McAllister's grocery store visit in Home Alone cost in 2024 prices?
1983.
This is my second year doing this. Last year in 2023, I did the same thing. The old video is tagged below. Before we continue, I have to note that it is very difficult to compare prices over a 30-year time horizon. When the media, here's USA Today, does it, they just pick the same thing off the shelf without checking to make sure the size and price are the same. This is particularly difficult when we start looking at Tide. The standard size today is somewhere around 84 fluid ounces, but when we look at the size of the detergent that Kevin bought in 1990, we see it's similar to a half gallon of milk, but that it's a little taller. So that 84 ounces today is much bigger than the size of packaging that Kevin had. My best guess is that it was something closer to 64 ounces, meaning that we'll need to take the $12.97 and multiply it by the appropriate fraction. And then here were the 2023 prices. Notice we had to do 20 sheets of Snuggle. Like the standard packaging today is like 200. Same with plastic wrap. Kevin only bought 100 square feet of it in 1990. With tax, the total came down to $42.78. Well, it's time to update it for 2024. I went to the same location as I did last year, the Walmart by my house, and used the prices found online at walmart.com. Surprisingly, a lot of the prices stayed the same. Snuggle is the same price, plastic wrap is exactly the same. The Mac&Cheese TV dinner actually got a little cheaper. Price of milk actually fell for me at this store compared to 12 months ago. But over here, they got a little complicated. The sticker price is pretty much the same, but if you look closely at the quantity, 46 fluid ounce for orange juice, it was well over 50 ounces last time. And instead of over 90, we're now down to 84 fluid ounces for the Tide. Tide also gets a little complicated because if you look close, it advertises it still does 64 loads, despite it being 84 fluid ounces. Here's 2023, 92 ounces, 64 loads. If you do the quick math, 92 fluid ounces divided by 64 loads means 1.4375 fluid ounces per load, whereas now 84 fluid ounces divided by 64 loads is 1.325 ounces. This is a difference of 0.25 fluid ounces per load. So I went out and bought one and tried to measure what the serving size actually would be. Now, because 1 fluid ounce of water is the equivalent of 1 regular ounce of weight, we can use my kitchen scale here. That's at least true at sea level. I'm sitting at 2,000 feet elevation. I don't think that's gonna really matter though. Who knew you had to know a little bit of chemistry to do economics? My dad and brother are chemists. This is for them. Well, my instrument probably isn't that accurate, but look, the difference in ounce per load is probably just a rounding error. Little hard to see, but what they claim you need to use per load is exactly where the one figure lines up on their measuring cup. So my conclusion is I'm going to chalk this down to shrinkflation. I don't think they changed their formula, and when you add up this tiny difference over 64 loads, it's a whole 8 fluid ounces. So yeah, shrinkflation, pretty sneaky at that. So, even though the sticker price for Tide and orange juice was the same, in my recording, it's going to have a higher price, $9.88 instead of $8.65, $4.48 instead of $3.94. The last difficulty was comparing the Army Men. You see, there's no name brand company who makes Army Men, so it's a different company from year to year and a different combination that they offer. So this one is a 100-piece set that I chose this year, and that compares to a 50-piece set that was offered last year. I don't know. The people in the reviews over here said the quality of the plastic and molding wasn't that great, but you get double the amount. I think it's the closest comparison I'll be able to find. And there you go. The price of Home Alone's Kevin McAllister's 10 grocery store items fell from $42.78 in 2023 down to $42.36 in 2024. The Tide and orange juice experienced a significant amount of shrinkflation. Most of the other goods kept the same price as last year, whereas Mac&Cheese TV dinner, milk, and Army Men all experienced deflation. So on net, it is a negative 1% for the whole basket. But this is a very small sample of 10 items from one store in one small town in a very large country. If we look at the nation as a whole, grocery prices have grown slower than median wages. Since 1990, in the blue, groceries are 2.3 times bigger, whereas median wages in the red are 2.8 times bigger. You can really see the damage from 2022 right there. And then just zooming into the past year, over the course of 2024, grocery prices on average have grown 1.4%, whereas median wages grew by 3.6%. All the details for everything in the link in the bio. Happy Christmas, y'all.